All right, so we're Wednesday, the market closed, the Fed had their statement Q&A, markets closed at low of day. I'll be covering the crypto sphere now. I've already done two videos, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. Essentially closed at low of day, very bearish. Let's look at the Nasdaq more, since that equates to the crypto sphere more than the other indices. Low of day close also, we don't have much before we're starting to test the early July or the June 16 lows, 4% move, maybe 5%, let's say. That's done in 2-3 days, 2-3 trading days. So tomorrow's Thursday. We'll probably venture into the 280 for the Nasdaq. Since we close at low of day, it's not done. Tomorrow, Europe will start trading. I think the DAX will start testing its absolute crush depth lows of 12,400. So we'll probably open red around 12,600, test 12,400. I think whether it's tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, or maybe early next week, we're going to be at the absolute triple flush zone on the DAX, which will just in turn, influence the US markets. Not that they need much influence there. They're crashing very successfully on their own. I think the SPY, the Nasdaq, basically tomorrow or Friday will be testing this point. I don't think we test the June 16 lows or June 17, but that's what next week is for. I think I've been bearish the whole time. I've been a seller into this, a buyer into the bounce, but otherwise a seller of the pops. Every single pop is to be sold. You have ample time to get out. There's nothing bullish going on, whether it's geopolitics, macroeconomics, monetary policy, general politics, domestic politics in all countries. There's nothing bullish. There's just nothing but black and white swans flying around. And to be honest, this is long overdue. This move up, I mean, a lot of perma bears on the way up just got crushed. And the only reason the market kept going up was QE. And the one slogan was "Don't fight the Fed." Well, now "Don't fight the Fed" on the way down. They're telling you they want to crush demand. They're happy for a recession, unemployment to go up. They just need inflation killed. It is the worst of all the dragons that must be slayed. I don't think they'll succeed in destroying inflation, but they're going to give it a good go. Powell doesn't really care much about the political consequences, and right now it's all sort of expected, so you might as well do it. So anyway, a bit of context, but I think we're going lower and yields are going up, to fit the story. So yields up, markets down, dollar up. Look at that new high close at 111 going towards the 118. I don't know if we'll get there in one go, but you have to zoom out of every chart now to see the bigger picture, because some of these lows being breached or these highs being made in yields and dollars, it dates back multiple years in some cases. So what does that mean for crypto? Bitcoin had a decent day initially. It sort of reacted well. It's been crushed for a while. Let's just look at the daily. Here we are. Basically 25k was just, it was unable to pop 25k whilst the markets were having a nice bounce. That was an early sign. As soon as we also selling support, went right back down to these lows. We nailed that move, went sideways and then lower with the market. And then it started to outperform just here, but met its long-term descending line. Came down with CPI day, worst time ever to have resistance technically when you have this fundamental news to push it lower. And basically now the chart is kind of destroyed, or it was destroyed. And we're just hanging around this 18,750 zone. Every time it popped below, it sort of was able to stick its head above. But with what happened today, and Bitcoin was relatively strong today compared to other markets intraday, but the close was ugly. It's forced Bitcoin to have an ugly daily chart. And now, I mean, it's sort of, that's the thing about 24-hour markets. The selling doesn't stop if the markets are going down. So now You know, we're below 18,500. This is now past midnight, at least European time. For me, the markets continue lower. Once we get, basically the way I see it was, we're gonna take out 18,000, whether it's tomorrow or the day after, or early next week. But since it's trading Saturday and Sunday, and this chart looks ugly. I mean, if it was ever gonna break out, it would have done it sort of then. It's just CPI ruined it. To me, we just sort of go sideways down, 17,500. And yeah, I know there are loads of Bitcoin bulls out there, but there's so much value in hearing the other side. You know, I'd love to buy someone it's cheaper. I'm greedy, I want it cheaper, but you can't just think, oh, I bought it here, so it can't go low. I don't want it to go lower. What if it does? You know, do you have a plan for that? Do you have some ammunition on the side? You've got to look forward to the drop so that your mind isn't perverted by a move lower. You know, you've got to stay sane. You've got to look forward to losing money almost so that you can look forward to buying some so that you dollar cost average, if you want to call it that. But anyway, I feel like we're going to go down to 17,500 imminently. We'll bounce, yeah, we'll go back to 18,500 maybe, but eventually we break it pretty soon. Then where do we go? Then where do we go? You have to zoom out. For me, it's essentially the top of this breakout zone. We're talking 14,000 to 12,000. I think that's the zone. That's what this circle's for. Um, it probably will cascade down quite quickly. Bitcoin is leading the way down. I mean, it hasn't been underperforming the markets, but on this flush, it probably will. It's just that's the way it is. But in a similar fashion, it will lead the markets up when everything bounces. So it'll be a great buy. It probably is already a good buy here, long term, but I think you can get it cheaper. And Ethereum actually, which was doing pretty strong leading up to the merge news, that was a pure buy the rumor, sell the fact. Then it just had head and shoulders flushing, and now even 1,250 is not, well, it's a bit early. It probably will go a bit sideways here, but straight to 1,000. And by the time Bitcoin's at 17,500, Ethereum will be hanging around 1,000 and probably just pierce below. And that's probably a buy. I mean, an accumulation zone, you know, this 900, 950 to 1,000. And then, yeah, if Bitcoin really is flushing towards 12 to 14,000, Ethereum at 600, and then back to its 400 zone. So I've already done 2 videos today. I'm pretty tired, but I did large caps and commodities and everything. So I'll keep it short, but crypto's lower, just like every other asset class, except it could happen sooner, not only because it's the um, sort of go-to asset for volatility and moves up and down because it's pretty magnified, but also because it trades on Saturday and Sundays, and the chart's pretty ugly. There are some other stocks out there that are crushed and they have good charts, but when the market goes down, it has to go down. Whereas Bitcoin, there's not too much going on for it at the moment, you know, and the chart looks bad and it's the go-to for crushes. So I'm not really sure what bullish fundamental news. I don't even think news counts anymore for Bitcoin. You know, whether it's regulators approving something or institutions adopting it. News is generally overrated, which is why I stick to technicals. Anyway, good luck out there. Generally bearish, but a good opportunity to accumulate if you do so wisely. So yeah, good luck either way.